What's up, everybody? Today's officially mid-season update day for Season 4 of Warzone and Vanguard, and with that, as usual, is going to come a bunch of weapon changes and quality of life changes, new modes in Warzone, and of course, a new weapon in Vanguard and Warzone. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. As usual, there's the playlist for the next 4 weeks, starting today at update, and all through next week, we get the Rebirth of the Dead, and we have Resurgence quads this week on Rebirth, solos, duos, trios, quads on Fortune's Keep, and then next week we have solos, duos, trios, quads on Rebirth Island, and quads on Fortune's Keep. Then the week of August 11th and August 18th, we're going to get Titanium Trials quads, and then we'll have Battle Royale, solos, duos, trios, World Series of Warzone Battle Royale, trios, for August 11th, Plunder quads, Golden Plunder quads, and then once again, Rebirth and Fortune's Keep will alternate solos, duos, trios, quads, and just quads. Events. The Titanium Trials Endurance. This is just the challenges here. If you want to check out the challenges and the prizes for them, I will have this link down below as usual. Still more challenges. Modes. We went over Rebirth of the Dead in its own video. I'll link that down below if you want to check that out, but I'm going to go ahead and skip that for now, just to keep this video a little shorter. Titanium Trials Endurance. First, there were Iron Trials, now inspired by the rise of machines in the near future. It is time for all operators to gear for the Titanium Trials in Caldera. 152 players on Caldera and game mode variant of Battle Royale. Maximum base armor threshold to 300 points for a total of 400 effective health when fully plated. Core health is 100 HP, and regeneration takes significantly longer to full heal. Armor is everything after all. The Tempered perk appears more frequently as ground loot for more efficient armor repairs. Each player begins the game and returns to the Gulag with a self-revive kit. Features a custom-built thematic loot table to support the higher TTK gameplay, including exceedingly rare redacted weapons that are a step more powerful than loadout weapons. The cost of loadouts and buy stations begins at a higher price point and decreases over the duration of the match. Be sure to grab your discounted loadouts as the first circle collapses. Updated infiltration cinematic for T-800 and T-1000 Terminator operators. So the big things here are 400 effective health because you have 300 armor, and you have 100 base health, unlike what we're at now on all the other maps in the regular modes with 150. I'm definitely excited for the Titanium Trials. I cannot wait for August 11th. And I'll probably put out a loadout video for that on its own. Bug fixes, collision issues across Caldera, helicopter damage from rotor blades not displayed and damaged out, fixed an issue causing players to lose their riot shields when down in a vehicle. They should just leave that. Fuck your riot shields. Fixed an issue on Fortune's Keep where players were unable to climb mantle boxes and sea caves. Fixed an issue causing the Sten to have an incorrect name. Fixed an issue causing some Modern Warfare weapon attachments that have incorrect names. Fixed an issue where the scalp snipe would cause some weapons to be unusable when swapping optic attachments. Fixed an issue causing the gravity inversion execution to throw downed enemies in incorrect distance. Fixed an issue causing the squad placement indicator to disappear after pausing and unpausing Golden Plunder. And fixed an issue preventing the false Prospector camo from being applied to all weapons. For a list of all other known issues, check out their Trello board. General private match, they're working on putting Fortune's Keep in private matches. Gameplay, Cursed Ground, kind of went over that in the Season 4 update information video. I'll have that video linked as well. Essentially, there's just there's cursed boxes that spawn zombies, and for killing the zombies, you get special prizes. I saw that you can get all the way up to Specialist, but you can cash, kill streaks, equipment, and possibly perk tokens, as well as Specialist. Portable redeployed balloon, same thing, went over that. And bomber planes are back. Quality of life adjustments, teammates, buyback, all maps and modes. So now it uses the redeploy token, only if you don't have money, whereas before if you had a redeploy token, it would buy your teammate back with the redeployed token and not money, but now it'll use money first and will only use the redeployed token if you don't have enough money. Gas circle on Fortune's Keep. The radii, or the radiuses, size and timings have been rebalanced for faster match pacing. Reduced radar jam or drop rates on Fortune's Keep. I say get rid of them. Respawn loadouts and resurgence modes. Updated most weapons and added new ones into the resurgence respawn/spawn loadouts. Armored SUV Nitro Boost is now in the game. Trophy systems now only kill or destroy lethals and tacticals, no longer other field upgrades. Legendary supply boxes. The orange supply boxes have an increased spawn rate across Caldera. Previous adjustments, weapon trade stations added to Caldera. Raider Jammer radii on Rebirth Island Fortune's Keep was shrunk. Buy stations on Fortune's Keep were increased. Public events, fire sale, and cash extraction chopper now can appear earlier. Fire sale Circle 3 and lootable perks on Fortune's Keep, but that all came in the Season 4 update. Serpentine is going to get a update here soon. It's going to get nerfed. Thermites got buffed. The stick damage increased to 40, up from 30. The change results in reliable down when sticking a target that does not have EOD equipped. Weapons, general base weapons from Vanguard Season 1 through Season 3 have been unlocked for all players. So now if you don't have the Armawera, I'm trying to remember what other mid-season weapons there were, but any of the mid-season weapons have now been unlocked. Any of the ones that require challenges. Vargo S Assault Rifle, trading firepower for improved accuracy and fire rate. This rifle excels in medium and long range engagements. Now zombie camos are available in Warzone. Redacted weapons. Vanguard redacted weapons have made their debut at the launch of Fortune's Keep. These weapons not only include 10 attachment setup, but also contain an exclusive redacted gun perk. This weapon perk is a combination of some of the more desirable gun perks: Fleet, Steady, Perfectionist, Vital, Hardscope, Brace, Spotter, Awareness, Wreck, Mechanic, Fast Melee, and On Hand. Needless to say, a redacted weapon is extremely dangerous and highly sought after piece of loot. What's more, you'll be able to find additional rare redacted weapons in Titanium Trials Endurance. Recommended weapons. We are closing in on 200 weapons in Warzone. I think after the Vargo S is at its 188, something like that. With so many to choose from, it can be difficult to know what the right choice is when returning to game for a new season. Starting in Season 4 Reloaded, we will be rolling out a new feature with some players where select weapons of each category will be flagged as recommended to help guide toward a weapon that is currently performing well within its class. Alright, and now the major stuff that everybody cares about. Weapon adjustments. Assault rifles. The current health of long-range assault rifle category is not where we'd like it to be. As it stands, the best performing builds are the ones with the least amount of recoil, so NZ, KG, STG, BAR. It's high time we take a pass at some of the major outliers so that Vanguard assault rifles are less likely to devolve into pinpoint accurate lasers. While some weapons are intentionally made easier to control, these should receive penalties to their damage profile, which we will roll out over time. 100% yes. That also means weapon changes will keep coming. We're going to make it hard to do a loadout video, but as usual, I will make a loadout video in about a week. Excuse me. Assault Rifle Charlie. In Vanguard, that's the BAR. The 30-inch barrel, which is what everyone uses. The vertical recoil and horizontal recoil control have been decreased to 20%, down from 28%. The 27-inch barrel horizontal recoil control decreased. The 8mm Klauser 40-round mags, which everybody uses, is the vertical and horizontal recoil control decreased down to 11%, down from 16%. Chariot WR, the stock everyone uses, recoil control decreased to 12, down from 14. Hardscope, the recoil control that Hardscope provides, the BAR has been decreased. I still think the BAR, because its damage is still pretty good, it's got that good headshot multiplier, will still be in the meta, but we'll have to play with it and see. Assault Rifle Alpha, which is the STG, weird that they would do this in backwards order. The 760mm barrel, which is the one everyone uses, the recoil control decreased to 30% from 40%, and same thing with the 620mm barrel. Cooper Carbine, 9mm 60-round drums, the horizontal recoil control decreased to 11%, down from 29.5. So it'll be a lot more bouncy if that's the mag you're using, and I don't use the Cooper, but I believe that's the mag everybody uses. Assault Rifle Bravo for Vanguard, which is the Itra Burst. The 303 British 36-round mag, the muzzle velocity increased to -10, up from -20, but people aren't really using the Itra Burst. NZ41 sustained recoil control decreased. I wish that was a measurement in numbers, but we'll just have to feel it out and play with it. Max damage range decreased to 33.5 meters, down from 35.6. Minimum damage decreased to 30, down from 34. And neck damage multiplier decreased to 1.27, down from 1.3. Sounds like this thing finally actually got a real nerf. It's still probably going to be usable for people. I'll have to play with it and see, but it's definitely not going to be in the meta. The max damage range, so the closest damage drop off, got a pretty decent nerf. Another 2 meters shorter. The minimum damage, so what you're hitting people at 60, 70, 80, 100 meters. It's now down 4 damage points. That's kind of big. Neck damage multiplier decreased to 1.27, down from 1.3. Not as big of a change. Nikita AVT movement speed scale increased to 0.87 from 0.86. ADS movement speed scale increased to 1.22, up from 1.2. The Empress 613mm FA barrel, which I believe is the barrel to use. Movement speed increased to -2.5, up from -3. ADS penalty decreased to -6%, down from -8%. Recoil control increased to 11%, up from 10%. Sprint to fire penalty decreased to -4.5%, down from 5%. 6.5 Sakura 60 round drums, the mag everybody uses. Damage range decreased to -6%, down from -4%. Muzzle velocity decreased to -10%. Actually, that's not the mag. Everyone uses the 50 round mag, down from -6%. Recoil control increased to 2.5%, up from 2%. Hipfire accuracy increased to 4.5%, up from 4%. With the Empress buff and the movement speed buff, the Nikita could finally find its way into the meta. It's definitely still going to be sniper support meta, but it could find its way into the long range meta. KGM 40, max damage range decreased to 30.5 meters, down from 33 meters. Minimum damage decreased to 25, down from 26. Headshot locational damage multiplier decreased to 1.46, down from 1.5. Reisdorf 720mm shrouded. The barrel everyone used, the horizontal recoil control decreased to 20%, down from 35%. And the 30-06 60 round drums recoil control penalty decreased to 35, down from 40. I'm seeing the minimum damage decreased 1 point and the max damage range decreased 2.5 meters, as well as the headshot damage multiplier decreased 0.04. I still think this thing will be like top tier viable. I don't know if it'll be meta, but it could still fit into the meta. I think the BAR may be what a lot of people end up switching to, depending on what that recoil feels like. The AMAX headshot locational damage multiplier increased to 1.6, up from 1.56. Minimum damage increased to 28, up from 24. So if you remember in Season 4 update, they nerfed it into the ground. It sounds like they're bringing it back up into the viable range, but it's another thing you just have to play with. This one I'm excited for. Kilo, the mid damage step removed, so it only has that long damage drop off now, and the minimum damage increased to 23, up from 18. This thing's going to be fun again. It's definitely going to be usable again. I definitely look forward to using the Kilo again. Farah 83, maximum damage increased to 20, range increased to 28 meters, up from 25.4 meters. The Farah has always been in the top tier viable or meta category. It has never dropped out of it. Still absolutely a recommended gun, and it just got buffed. Krig 6 mid damage increased to 26, up from 25, and headshot locational damage multiplier increased to 1.55, up from 1.5. Krig could be viable. I just still don't think it's going to be great. M13 neck locational damage multiplier increased to 1.3, up from 1.01. That's huge. The M13 already was starting to be talked about being meta again, and that neck damage multiplier increase is huge if you're hitting your neck and your headshots. The Volkswagen headshot locational damage multiplier increased to 1.61, up from 1.55. The 7.62 40 round mags capacity increased to 45. Damage penalty removed. Damage range now increased by 15%. Rate of fire increased to 7.5, up from 6.7%. Recoil control decreased to 20%, down from 40%. 7.62 30 round mags. Damage penalty removed. Damage range now increased. Rate of fire increased the same, and recoil control decreased the same. The 30 caliber Russian short 45 round drums. Muzzle velocity increased to 25%. Damage range increased to 11%. Vertical recoil penalty decreased to 20%, down from 30%. They might be trying to make the Volk meta, but it might just stay in the sniper support meta. I don't know if they're trying to make it long range meta. Another thing to just play with. Armawero 43, the 570mm barrel headshot locational damage scaler decreased to 1.14, down from 1.2. I don't know why they don't just use multiplier, because right there in the Blixen they use multiplier again. Headshot locational damage multiplier decreased to 1.46, down from 1.5. Minimum damage decreased to 27, down from 28. Movement speed scale decreased to 0.9, down from 0.91. Blixen probably still going to be in the meta. Doesn't sound like these are too bad. The Johnson 9-inch RMK barrel, which is one of the recommended barrels, minimum damage decreased to 28, down from 30. And the 7.62 Granco 54 round mags, headshot locational damage multiplier decreased to 1.1, down from 1.18. I still think the Blixen will be within the meta. It's still going to be one of the best SMGs, probably, despite that nerf. Marco 5, max damage decreased to 34, down from 36. Mid damage decreased to 30, down from 32. Neck locational damage multiplier decreased to 1.25, down from 1.5. And the Perfetto Lester 355mm barrel locational damage multipliers have been removed. Maybe that takes it out of the meta. It's another thing you're just going to have to play with, but that could take that out of the meta and just be a viable SMG, because in the hands of the right player, every SMG is viable. UGR, upper extremity locational damage multiplier increased to 1, up from 0.9. Max damage increased to 39, up from 38. Max damage range increased to 11.45 meters, up from 10.8. Mid damage range increased to 17.17 meters, up from 15.26. UGR, already said it was in the meta. It's definitely going to be in the meta now. I think that's a very big change to that gun. It was already definitely viable. If it's not meta, it's top tier viable. A submachine gun Delta from Modern Warfare, which is the Uzi. Mid damage increased from 28 up from 26. Neck locational damage increased to 1.42 up from 1.1. Uzi could sneak into the meta. It was never really meta in its entire life, so I don't know if it will be, but it could be. The neck damage multiplier increase is huge, and so is the mid damage, but it still won't kill as fast as some of the other SMGs because you're not hitting all neck shots. Submachine gun Alpha from Cold War, which is the MP5. Max damage range increased to 10 meters up from 7.6. So now you really don't need a barrel on it. Neck locational damage multiplier increased to 1.2 up from 1.01. This thing, again, was never out of the viable category, but it should be back to top tier viable, if not meta. Shotguns. The following shotguns. Max pellet damage range has been increased by 26%. The Iron High, the Einhorn Revolving, the Double Barrel, the Combat Shotgun, Shotgun Charlie, which is the, not the Gallo. This is the one that I forgot to write down. The Dragon's Breath, the R90. The Model 680, the VLK Rogue, and the Howler all had the damage range increased by 26%. Max pellet damage increased, but please no shotgun meta, please. Shotgun Bravo from Cold War is going to be the Gallo. The max pellet damage increased only up to 25 from 24. The Gracie Auto max pellet damage increased up to 25 up from 24. Mid 1 pellet damage range increased to 20. Mid 2 pellet damage increased to 18. Minimum pellet damage increased up to 14. Shotgun Delta from Modern Warfare, which is the Origin 12. The max pellet damage was increased up to 25 from 24, and the min pellet damage was increased to 14 up from 12. And the Street Sweeper, min pellet damage increased to 10 up from 9. Please no shotgun meta. Car 98 from Vanguard, the ADS transition time was decreased, so buffed. ADS transition out time buffed as well. Not by a whole lot, but 35 milliseconds in and 10 milliseconds out. The REO 2K barrel, the ADS time bonus increased to 13 up from 20. The 6.55 round max damage penalty removed, and ADS time penalty decreased. Unless you increase the range for one-shot headshots, it's just not going to get used. The 3-line rifle max damage decreased to 109, down from 115. Still is a one-shot headshot, though. Upper torso damage multiplier increased to 1.2. Lower torso damage multiplier increased to 1.1. Lower extremity damage multiplier increased to 1, up from 0.9. Medium telescopic sight, 10 times telescopic sight, and the 5 times telescopic sight all had their idle sway decreased by 50%. The Gorenko anti-tank rifle ADS time, in time decreased in by 80 milliseconds and out by 50 milliseconds. Still probably not going to be used very often. Marksman Rifles M1 Garand lower extremity damage multiplier increased. No one's going to use the M1 Garand. The 21-inch Shrouded Barrel muzzle velocity increased. 303 British 12-round clips muzzle velocity penalty decreased. Damage penalty removed. Damage penalty increased. Rate of fire bonus decreased by like half. 30-06 20-round drums movement speed penalty increased. R1 Shadow Hunter. So the crossbow from Cold War, bolt accuracy increased from 50%. The crossbow from Modern Warfare, bolt accuracy increased by 30%. So 2 updates in a row. The crossbow's getting buffed, which is fun and interesting. I actually am really happy about that. Whitley, 28-inch Gracie MK9 barrel. The horizontal recoil control increased. The rapid barrel, which is everyone uses the MK9. The rate of fire bonus was increased. The max damage and the min damage were increased actually pretty significantly. Might make it the barrel to use. Even though you don't get the recoil control. Muzzle velocity penalty, muzzle increased, muzzle velocity penalty decreased, and horizontal recoil penalty decreased. 50 caliber BMG 150 round mags, recoil control penalty decreased. View center scaler increased. 303 British 45 round mags, Rate of fire bonus decreased, horizontal recoil control increased, vertical recoil control increased. They are trying to make the Whitley in the meta. The R2 padded stock initial recoil penalty decreased, sustained recoil bonus increased. They're definitely trying to make the Whitley more into the meta. Probably going to be within the meta. The UGM, the 560 millimeter DA, the neck locational damage multiplier increased to 1.6. Horizontal recoil control increased now by 10%. I don't remember which barrel that is, but that is a buff for the UGM. Tactical rifles, and we're almost done here. Carve .2, the maximum damage range increased. People still not going to use the Carve. The M16 max damage increased to 42 up from 40. Please do not bring the M16 back, Raven. Neck locational damage multiplier increased to 1.2 up from 1. Please do not bring the M16 back. Pistols, melee lunge distance decreased to 1.5, 2 meters down from 1.83. Why not just make it 1? Or a half. You should not get that much lunge when you're meleeing with a pistol or any gun. Handgun Echo, which is the Deagle from Modern Warfare, the Desert Eagle, the 50 caliber GS. The max damage increased to 91 up from 70. Mid damage increased to 65 up from 49. And mid damage increased to 55 up from 45. Please don't make this thing a hand cannon. Please do not make this thing super deadly. Because that's fairly significant. Those are fairly significant buffs. The Rat from Vanguard, mid damage increased to 28 up from 26. With the Empress 129 barrel, the rate of fire penalty decreased to 29 down from 38. The 7.62 14-round mag muzzle velocity penalty decreased, damage range penalty decreased. The 45 caliber 12-round mags locational damage penalty removed. Muzzles recoil booster, vertical recoil control now decreased by 1.5%. Fun fact: the recoil booster was previously only boosting horizontal recoil. Still going to get used for SMGs, absolutely. Increasing that rate of fire is so important when you're trying to compete with the other SMG time to kills. The bayonet movement speed increased by 1%. The Carver foregrip vertical recoil control decreased to 7% down from 9%. And the M1930 Strife angled horizontal recoil control decreased to 7% down from 9%. You're still going to use the Carver, the Strife angle, sorry about that, or the hand stop, just depending on feel. But hand stop might make its way back into the preferred choice. It has been mine because the Carver foregrip hurts your ADS speed. I want to say the Strife angle does as well. Well, the hand stop doesn't. Operators, the Terminator operators that you can buy in a bundle, and then download sizes. But that's it. That is the update for Warzone that is coming. By the time this video is uploaded, it'll be just about here. Or if you're watching this later, it's already here. But thank you for watching. I appreciate watching it all, whether you watched the whole thing, skipped around. But I do appreciate any watch time at all. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Coming tomorrow, I should have the Vargo video. Coming within the next week to week and a half, I should have loadout video, long range, short range, and possibly sniper support with some of the changes they've made. So hit the notification bell so you know when those come. And comment down below. Let me know what you think of the update. Are you happy about the nerfs to the BAR, the STG, the NZ, and the KG? Are you happy about the buffs to the Kilo, the M13, some of the other nerfs and buffs? Let me know what you think down below. And like I said, I will have the patch notes linked down below as usual. And as always, I have my social medias linked down below. Stream is starting up soon. I know I said this month. I only got a few days left. Hopefully, I can still keep that promise. And I do upload on Instagram and TikTok almost daily. So those are down below as well as my Twitter. Please feel free to check those out. But I will see you on Caldera, Rebirth Island, and Fortune's Keep. Get frying. Have a good day. Bye.